Our next guest is running for president of the United States, but don't tell him it's not going to happen. He's having fun. He's the Libertarian Party nominee for the most powerful job in the world. Please welcome Governor Gary Johnson. You don't look like you're running for president. You look like you're coming, like I've made an insurance claim and you're coming to inspect my car.
How is your car?
Well, I'll leave that to you to decide. Yeah. How are you doing? Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, thank you for the invite. And, of course, got excluded from the presidential debates.
Yeah, how did
here's
that
the
happen?
big opportunity.
How did Ross Perot get in the debate?
Ross Perot was polling less than I am right now. Now, initially he was polling really high. He dropped out, all that stuff that happened that I can't even begin to explain. But then he was polling lower than I am right now, and Clinton and Bush wanted him in the debates, so he was in the debates.
They both wanted him in.
Well, they both thought it would benefit them, and then after that, Presidential Debate Commission, Republicans and Democrats, they come up with this 15%, and it's really a chicken and egg thing. You can't get to 15% if 60% of America doesn't even know who you are. And of course, that probably gets remedied tonight.
I'm surprised with all the cable networks that we have that somebody hasn't said, well, all right, well, we'll have another debate with you and Jill Stein and maybe another candidate there and put that on.
Well, we did that in the 2012 cycle, and that really just doesn't go anywhere.
Maybe you do it with your shirt off.
Maybe. Maybe a good idea.
If you, on the off chance you do not win the presidency,
Off chance.
Will you accept the results? Will you accept the results? That's very big of you. Who did you think did better tonight in the debate of the two candidates?
You know, I do have issues with both of them. Libertarians, fiscally conservative, socially inclusive, really skeptical about the wars, military intervention, regime change, and free market, believing that that will lead to more U.S. jobs. So really issues with both candidates. Trump, starting with immigration. I got to tell you, it's just crazy, the notion of deporting 11 million undocumented workers in New Mexico. How's that going to work where half the population is Hispanic? The biggest hoo-ha of the evening, I think, was Hillary when she said, the biggest whopper of the evening was when Hillary said, hey, I'm not going to add a penny to the deficit. Come on, that's just...
Maybe she meant that literally. She's not going to add a penny to the deficit.
Oh, that's true. 30 trillion maybe, but not a penny. Right. Oh.
You're popular with young people largely because you supported legalization of marijuana very early on. Like, I mean, before everybody did.
Before everybody did, yes. Yeah, well, and by the way, I think California is going to vote to legalize it in November, and I think that's really going to be the tipping point.
Yeah, if we remember to vote.
Do you know that in the last year, the number1 category of arrest in this entire country was marijuana?
Is that true?
Yes. The #1 category of arrest in the last year, and this is 2016. And we all think that somehow, hey, this is, people aren't getting arrested when, in fact, #1 category of arrest.
Wow,
I mean, I think it's flabbergasting.
Including all marijuana-related offenses.
Right. We're getting pulled over. Hey, you got some pot. We're gonna cite you for possession, whether that's misdemeanor or felony. Marijuana, #1 category.
And so that would save a lot of money if that wasn't happening.
Well, when I was governor, half of law enforcement, half the courts, and half the prisons, the money that we spend in each one of those areas is drug-related. And what are we getting for it? Well, the highest incarceration rate of any country in the world. We got 2.3 million people behind bars, and I refuse to believe we're any less law-abiding than any other country. So the main category of prisoner in federal prison today is the person who has sold small amounts of drugs on numerous occasions and been caught. So mandatory sentencing, 3 strikes, you're out, not giving judges discretion. It's the drug war that is leading in this incarceration.
What about other drugs that aren't marijuana? Do you believe in legalizing those?
I don't. I've advocated legalizing marijuana only, but I think that the country is going to come to a quantum leap of understanding when it comes to drugs. And it's going to start with understanding the drug problem first as a health issue rather than a criminal justice issue. And I think that's going to happen rapid fire here.
Is that at odds with your position as a libertarian? Wouldn't a very strict libertarian be for drugs of all kinds, letting people do whatever they want to do?
Well, I am the libertarian nominee for president. I don't think we're going to legalize heroin in my lifetime. But can we adopt strategies that will reduce death, disease, crime, and corruption, the things we really care about? Yes, we can. We have the most effective policies in the world to kill heroin addicts. We could have policies that would keep heroin addicts alive. And you know that for the most part, after about 12 years, people quit using heroin. It's just in this country, because of HIV, hepatitis C, because of the violence and crime involved with having to procure the heroin in the first place, dying of overdose, quality, quantity unknown. People don't live 12 years doing heroin in this country.
So other countries are doing a better job with their heroin addicts?
Well, when you look at Zurich, Switzerland, Switzerland having adopted a harm reduction strategy there. Chief of police, they came out with a program, free heroin. The chief of police from Zurich, Switzerland, came to Albuquerque in 2002.
Is that on their website? Because that's a hell of a... Wow.
Chief of police comes to Albuquerque. He says, look, when they came out with this program in Zurich, when they came out with this proposal, he said, I could not have been more opposed to this. Death, disease, crime, corruption was going to skyrocket. All my friends in law enforcement, we thought the same thing. He said, I'm here to tell you that it has been fabulously successful.
Wow.
That death, disease, crime, corruption has plummeted. All the things they said would be worse are much better. And the citizens of Zurich re-upped on the program. Another example is Vancouver. Again, if you're going to reduce death, look, you're going to issue clean needles. If you're going to issue a dose of heroin that's not going to kill somebody, not knowing what it is or what the quantity of it is.
Right, right. So you would, well, you were CEO of a company that sold marijuana, true? Or you still are involved with them?
No, well, actually, I'm not involved with them anymore.
What happened?
Well, just that I resigned to do this.
Oh, you'll
right
go
now.
back to the potheads, though, later, right?
It's an exciting industry. Right now, one of the drawbacks to the industry is everything that is sold in any state where it's legal has to be grown, processed, packaged, manufactured, sold in that state by residents of those states.
And that's no good?
Well, it's not a good consumer model. But
it would be great if that applied to food, though, wouldn't it? Produce, et cetera, like that?
Well, food, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's everything else. Everything else is done in that model. You know what's not known here in California is that technically everything is illegal in California right now.
What do you mean everything?
Well, everything that's done marijuana-wise.
Oh, I think you meant everything. Oh, boy, we're in trouble. I'm doing a lot of things.
Everything in the marijuana area.
Speaking of things that are illegal, I have a way that I think we could double your poll numbers tonight. And I mean, I know what to do. And if you can, now this is not marijuana, it's just regular tobacco. But if we got some video of you rolling a joint, you know, we'll take a break and we'll see if Gary can do it when we come back. For President Gary Johnson. Gary, we have a question from an undecided voter, or at least one who's pretending to be undecided. We're not exactly sure. Ken Bohn, who is in Las Vegas. Ken.
Hello, Governor Johnson. It's great to talk to you. Governor Johnson, I'm wondering, if you shore up your foreign policy chops, are you willing to make another run in 2020?
Oh, I see. I know what he's referring to. Yes, yes. Will you run in 2020?
No, this is it for me, Ken.
What if you win? You won't run again?
Maybe. I'm leading among active military personnel. Among active military personnel, I'm the overwhelming choice to be the next president.
What do you attribute that?
What I'm saying regarding our military, that our military should be used judiciously, that if attacked, we're going to attack back, but let's stop involving ourselves as world policemen. Let's stop involving ourselves in regime change that puts us in a situation where it's no win, no defined goals for the military.
I feel like your message would resonate a lot more if you were rolling a joint while you said these things. So, do you know how to do this?
You know, I haven't rolled a joint probably in 25 years.
Oh, it's like riding a bike. You just rode 70 miles.
90, actually.
90, oh my
Well,
God.
anyway, I thought when I was running for president in 2012, I thought that everybody that smoked marijuana, 100 million Americans plus, would give me $1. And it didn't work out at all. So I got to tell you, this is a dead end right here.
Oh, it is.
This is just a dead end.
Because they were too lazy to send you any money, huh?
Well, they're just not political. They don't get out and vote.
Do people bring you weed at your events?
They do.
They do?
They do, yeah.
And how do you handle that?
I've been on the chairlift in Taos. Skiing is my passion. I've been on the chairlift in Taos, and guy looks over and he goes, "Man, you look like Gary Johnson." And I said, "Oh, I get that all the time." And he goes, "Oh, so you're not?" "Oh, well," he goes, "Yeah, Gary's a lot bigger than you are." And the next thing, "You are Gary Johnson, aren't you?" "I'd be so honored if you'd smoke some reefer with me."
Yeah.
I said, "Look, man, I'm working really hard to allow you to do that, but I think I'll pass."
Yeah, he can see.
No, I get that offer all the time.
He can see how hard you're working. You're on a ski lift.
Yeah, that's right.
I think what Ken was referring to is you had that. We had a lot of fun with the Aleppo thing. I would imagine it wasn't as much fun for you.
Well, you make mistakes, and no excuse whatsoever. 90% of America doesn't or didn't know what Aleppo was, but 90% of America is not running for president of the United States. So,
true.
No excuse, but that is a pivot to what we're doing policy-wise. And you know what? We're finding ourselves in a civil war over there, Aleppo being the heart of that, supporting the Free Syrian Army. The conjecture was when we did that, when we armed them, that those arms were going to end up in the hands of the Islamists, that they were going to end up in the hands of ISIS, and that's what's happened. And then we support the Kurds against ISIS, and...
So you've been studying, I see. You know what's going on there.
Knew this ahead of time, but no excuse.
I know. You should make an excuse, though. You just say, "Listen, I smoked a ton of pot."
You know
Will
what?
you smoke pot if you were elected president?
No, I've made the pledge that I would not do that, and I'm a pretty disciplined guy. I have not had a drink in 30 years. I have indulged in marijuana. I think marijuana is a lot safer than alcohol.
Sex?
And, sex?
Yeah. You're still into that?
Well, yes. I have a wonderful relationship. I'm in love, Jimmy. I'm in love.
You are?
I am.
Oh, that's very
sweet. On
sweet.
that 90-mile bike ride, that was...
Was she on the bike ride with you?
Yes, she was.
Was she on the handlebars?
No, I was trying to keep up with her the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see what's going on.
Yeah,
We're going to take a break. Gary Johnson is here. We'll be right back. What did they miss tonight? What did Trump and Hillary miss tonight?
Well, there was just only a couple of minutes spent on entitlements. And right now I'm leading among young people, millennials. And I'd like to think it's because of what I'm saying regarding millennials. And that is they're getting screwed. I'm going to get my retirement. I'm going to get my health care. You as a young person, you're going to have to pay for that. But you know what? You probably won't get it. And then President Obama's affordable health care. That's dependent on young, healthy people paying for older, unhealthy people. Oh, and by the way, we want you to go to war. We're going to put your lives on the line.
So you're saying kill the old people.
Oh, a balanced budget. Spending.
Thanks to Gary. Thanks to Gary. Ken Bohn. Apologies to Matt Damon. Watch Nightline next. They're from Vegas and New York. Here's Byron Pitts.